Hey, welcome to Real-Time Watercolor Painting today. If you were here for this, I don't know what the heck's going on with that. I mean, it looks like we could probably put refinements in that. I'm not really sure what and where. We're going to take a break from that. Yesterday we worked on this, but I was too dismayed to go real-time watercolor painting because it just seemed to be very um, weird anyway. I couldn't get any inspiration yesterday, which is today I thought we were going to try to do this on this, and we'll actually have one more thing here. Is this bigger? No, same size. Is this the same thing? Oh no, that's Academy watercolor. They call it a pad, but it's a block, and this one is the, I don't know, Eaton, or is that a D? Anyway, well, we have both of these. I guess this one maybe is, I don't know if it's the same or that's rougher. And I just cut this apple off. Managed to slice my hand open while doing that. Anyway, I thought we'd try this glass because, you know, we did it before that glass and it didn't come out very good. So, nothing like clear glass, right? But anyway, I'm going to warm up with this. I got this new jar for travel because I ruined so many great watercolor pads because I had this plastic thing and the plastic thing opened and then water went all over the pad, and you know there's a big blotch in the corner of the pad with water in there. Anyway, let's just jump right in here because as usual I'm late for work. Someday I'll be, you know, getting rich online and I won't have to be running to my drudgery job, but that day is not today. Okay, so anyway, this one we started from life a while ago, took a few pictures. The our thing here is miles away from the reference, but let's see here, I'm just trying to get like this, pretending that's this leaf, and just trying to keep adding you know, details, and hopefully it'll add up to let's see here, this leaf is coming forward, add up to something later. And this one here just seems a little too dark, so I'm just gonna see if we lift some of that paint off using the damp brush, and that's a little better. And let's see where else here. So another, this could be dark, so let me get back to the dark right here. So if you see this little leaf right here that is kind of in front, that's what that is. And I'm leaving this little gap there. And I think that could even go darker. Just gonna touch this gray. There we go, darker. And it's a very tedious process, but I'm gonna try to come down here with a line. Not really working because, okay, that looks cool. Starting to get some dimension in there. I'll get a little bit down here. Behind there, there's another leaf. I'm going to try to go lighter and add more yellow to that just to get a lighter, completely different completely different tone here. All right, now this cool is kind of a puddle, not really great, but you know, it's kind of dry like that, fine. And now, what was this one? This, I'm going to try to just blend this to, I'll leave this little tiny streak here of white because that'll just help make the leaf have more structure, I guess, and depth. And then down here, what's happening down here? So at this point, we are just miles away from this reference, you know, but whatever. Okay, down here we had, I'm going to try to go right here. This is a tutti frutti green in this, if you ask me. So let's try to get some yellow in here and just try to go right there with yellow. Looks good. Go up here. And I need a dark here, but since there's a lot of water on there, we're not going to get the dark right now. Here, there's some little flecks of highlight yellow. Let's see if we can't get that by painting yellow. And I'll leave it there for a second. Put another dot here. And then we sort of blot it up and maybe we'll get us, oh, look at that. We got a cute little highlight, which is tinted yellow. Talk about a good time. Oh yeah, right? Looking good. Very nice. When we do our recap, we're going to have to mention how we got fuzzy highlights of yellow. Anyway, how about if we get, these like in these flowers, we got hints of yellow, especially right here. And, you know, right there, little hints of yellow. I'm going to see about getting more happening on these petals. And we had already put some yellow right there. I'm going to try to go right here and see if we can't. Okay, that's cool. And we just want to balance that out with another yellow, maybe like right here would be good. And now we're going to take some water and smear that around so it's a subtle hint, not a garish yellow. Looks good. Maybe extend it up to here. And that is starting to come forward as if the flower is in front of all this stuff in the background. So that's a real win right there. I'm going to just have another dot right here. Super faint yellow. Looks good. The flowers, you know, obviously a very important part of this painting, so we really want to get it right. And I don't know what this should be. You know, we've achieved an abstract area of positive space, which should probably be a flower petal, but I don't know, just throw some yellow in there for the heck of it. We're trying to, one thing we're trying to do is get all these white spaces filled up with paint. And if you looked, you know, a few days ago, you know, this thing was like 50% untouched paper. I think down here, let me try to get a little blue, and let's just come in here and just say that's going to be an echo of a petal somehow. And so that looks good. And I'm leaving this thing here, you see, you know, I'm trying to leave these white areas to know where my big leaf is, but we're trying to leave an edge. Okay, like right here, you see these, that should translate to the edge of a leaf down the road. I think we could actually, I'm going to try to get a blue here. Just a random a Primatech blue. I'm just going to try to get a little blue in there just to say, hey, I am really a different different tone altogether. And that's supposed to be the edge of a leaf, and I'm going to leave that on there a second, and then As soon as it gets a good stain in the paper, I'm going to just smear it a little bit, and then I'm going to try to pick up some of the paint, because we just want to get this subtle hint in there, and that did not really pan out. So now I'm going to see if we erase the whole thing. Okay, much better. All right, we got a hint of blue right there. That's cool. And this, I don't know, we want that. I don't think so. And what's down here? Let's see. This could be a faint green. I'm just gonna hit it with this super watered down blue just to get a tone on there. You know, eventually we're gonna want to make this into a stem. And this blue, I don't really like it, but wonder if that was today. Let's see about get rid of that a little bit. And I think we can go with some kind of a brownish. Let's see what we got for a kind of a brownish here. This particular color right here is a what do you call it? Like a burnt umber, but it leans green. I forgot what they call that color, but it's appropriate for what we're trying to do here, which is to get kind of an earth tone like this. You know, there's all these earth tones in there, which are pretty dark in the reference, but here we're just gonna, let me see if we can come here and say we are somehow earth tone, and this is like behind leaves, and then we really want balance here. And this is, since we got these darks here, this is hopefully going to be a you know, a composition of the three darks that leads the eye up this way. And so that kind of looks, you know, good for that. You know, just boom, 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 because I think we're leading the eye up with that. So that's a win. Okay. And then up here we got some contrasting elements. Let's see if we can't get them together. And right here, well, that's this. And here, if this is going to be this, then we could probably use some up here. I'm just going to try right here just for the heck of it. Okay, doesn't look good, doesn't look bad. Definitely is nice around that leaf. I don't know how it's working with our, make that a little lighter. That's darker now. This, I think it'd be great if it was a little lighter. I wonder if painting this tone on here could make it lighter. Let's find out. It's getting a little lighter. Okay, that is a little lighter. So likewise for this right here. And now I'll smear this a little bit if possible, because it's a kind of a big blotch with defined edges, which is not going to be as subtle as maybe we could better. And this, I don't know why that's there. I wonder if we should put this red in here. We have been ignoring that red. I'm gonna just see if we can add some dashes of red. Let's see what happens. Okay, that's cool. Don't look bad. Okay. All right, not bad. Okay, and let's go down here too, just to say, hey, we're the close-up area. And then up here, I need to go through that. Now I'm going to try to take this off. Not bad. I'm going to smear this or two. Alright, looks good. Alright, that was bold, but I think it looks nice. So, hallelujah. And down here, I don't know if we could, this would be good to come down here. And then there's this pole here. We're not going to paint the pole. Maybe we could just get a green happening here and just sort of say I'm a leaf that is so subtle that we're going to just hopefully just blend into the background here. Okay, did that blend into the background? Not really. I'm going to try and create an angle right here that is, if there was an arrow here, it would be painting in. That looks all right. I don't know. What do you think? Hey, a professional anime artist has come. Thanks a lot for stopping by. And I appreciate the positivity in the comments. Thanks a lot. I'm sorry I'm a little late. Wow, 5 thumbs up. That's amazing. Thanks so much. Wow. Kaboom. That's beautiful. Thanks so much for the 5 thumbs up. Here I'm just trying to develop some kind of interesting but subtle complexity over here on this edge. It just, that looks good there. This thing here is supposed to be like this. And here, I don't know what the heck happened there. We really need to get something in here that's bold. I don't know what is a red. Let's just add some red. Okay. Anyway, I guess we're going places here. Trying to see what these comments say. Serenity, excuse me, porch. Okay, well, anyway. How long was that? 18 minutes. I don't know if we should jump into, that was really supposed to be a warm-up to get the old brush and, you know, the brush control into the zone. This is another thing I've been working on forever. I don't know how long, but it's really been a long time. And you know, that's another thing we're just treating like a warm-up at this point because I don't know. I guess it's getting better very slowly. So what I'm doing with this is like tiny dots, which is super excruciating and not, you know, not fun, not fast. And so just every day, maybe you spend like 5 minutes putting more little dots and stuff. And this is from a photo, which the photo is, I don't know even where that photo went. But, you know, every time we do a couple dozen or 50 dots, then, you know, we're closer to fruition, I guess, on this. Maybe. Or maybe it's just going to look stupid when we're done. We'll find out, right? I mean, what this really is back here is trees that are about this big, but the photo reference is like just a dense, you know, greenish hue. So it's not like you can really pick out independent trees. So we're just thinking that if we get enough, and this looks pretty bad right there. I'm gonna see if we can lighten up this thing right here. I don't know where that came from. And I don't know if we're gonna be able to lighten it up either. That's a little lighter. Okay, that's better, I guess. Yeah, I don't like any big sections the same tone. There's another one. That's better. Here's another one. I think that's better. This one is okay. It's passable. This is fine. I think it kind of leads the eye into the picture, so that's a win. And all right, but anyway, what I really wanted to do today was, is this dry? I don't know. I'll put this over here. What I wanted to do is this glass again. So I'm just gonna, let's just see if we can't. I'm just gonna do like this area right here, and not to be too literal, but let's start with yellow, and it might be good to you know, prime the paper. I don't know, but having said that, we're not going to prime the paper. So here, I'm going to try this. I'm trying to get this area right here. Okay, now I'm going to add some green to that. And this might be dumb, but okay, well, first we're going to try to, oh, we're up here. So that's like negative space here, and just go here. And then let's go right in here and just come around like that. And now we want to be up here. And even though that's a dark line there, I'm going to treat that as, you know, sort of like a negative space. And we're going to leave a white gap where that, rim of the glass is. And here we're going to come down here. So here we're saying this is going to be the handle. And now we got to quickly color this in because I don't want to see any line on the watercolor. All right, now I'm going to lean back harder into the yellow. I'm going to come up here. And we could really use some cadmium yellow. I need to the yellow palette, and here's cadmium yellow. Let's see if we are leaning into cadmium. Okay, maybe. I'm going to try come right here. And now I'm going to try to smear that around with like a damp brush. We gotta come down here and catch up with this line, and the line is like looking very much like a line, which is not my cup of tea at all. I really. All right, next thing we're gonna go back to the green. This is not the green we're using, but I'm gonna go back to the green, and we're gonna come in here underneath. And it's unfortunate that that line is persisting there because. I really don't want that line there, so maybe we can come up here also. Just try to. Okay, good. And down here, we really want to get a, you know, a shadow right there. Is that even okay? Yeah. And then right here, I'm just going to try to get this into a diffusion, and now I want to go back to this, which is Hansa yellow, and let's see. We can get down here. This is going to be the lower edge of the, whatchamacallit there. It's a grapefruit. I guess we could also hit it right here too. Now in here, this is, we gotta really get into some, you know, greenish. So let's just, as an underpainting, we're just gonna go right here. That's a little close to the front. And then here I'm just going to establish the shape, and that does come out here. I'm just going to try to establish the shape in here. That's good. Okay, so we are establishing this little shape here, even though we got the absolute wrong color in there. And here I'm going to try to get a more intensity in this little corner. And that, I mean, it's a darn puddle, but it's just gonna leave a puddle, let it dry, because and this, okay. And this needs a more cadmium yellow influence. Here we go. And then like right around here, I think we could also have more of that cadmium. And the way this dried right there is kind of weird, but that's what you get for, you know, not the best paper. It's not the worst paper, but it sure ain't the best. Anyway, I'm just gonna see about, now let's just see if we can just get this whole thing to be like a highlight-ish. Okay, good enough. And then this is a bit jarring. And I think what we'd like to do here is, that looks good. This is in the right place, but it's nothing but a puddle, so it really actually should be more of a shadow. Just using the damp brush, I'm just trying to pick up some of that excess water. And probably be good to do this shadow that's right here. You see that triangle right there? And I think that's what we should hit next. So let's see about, here's where I got like the burnt umber colors. I don't really have a burnt umber. There's limits on the paint I got here. If I want burnt umber, it's like these two are the only burnt umber, and then I got these other similar to burnt umber, but this burnt umber here leans green, and this one here is I don't know, it's a weird color anyway, let's see, just trying to get that's looking okay. And now I'm going to take this one here as neutral tint, which is kind of like Payne's gray, but it leans blue, but mixing with this burnt umber, so we got a warm thing here. And I'm going to first blot that just to get some of the excess water off, and then here we want to come up here. I don't know if that's going to be a good idea at this juncture. We will see. And then here we're going to come out to here. Let's go there. And you know, this is actually just a triangle here, and this is lighter here, but I've been looking at tutorials where you're supposed to identify spots and go with big spots. So I'm going to sort of take that spirit of the big spot and pretend this is a big spot, even though it's not. And here I'm just going to lift this up because I'm getting big spot anxiety. So now right here we got green. So I want to take that same gray and add green to it, because you see right here that's actually the leaf, and you're seeing it through 2 layers of glass. So here's the green, and here is my my burnt umber. So I'm just leaning green with the burnt umber. You can take a little more burnt umber. And let's see what we got here. Because I want this to connect to this here. So let's see if we can't. Alright, we sort of got a green, and it not really. I'm going to add element of green in there. There we go. And that looks pretty good. I mean, I'm inclined to smear all that together, but it actually looks pretty good. So here, that's good. This is good. I want to taper off this whole bottom so it just kind of dissipates, and that looks really good. Although, again, we got a puddle there. And let's see. So up here, right here, we got a thin line of yellow. Let's get that in there. This thin line of yellow. And that's good. And now I don't want to touch that because I want this to, for this we can smear this, that's for sure. And then this is going to be a shadow. And so I think what we should, I'm going to grab an intense blue, mix it with that, mix it with the burnt umber thing we got working, and try to get a cool shadow that's consistent with that color we just had, because right here this has definitely got to be falling into the back. So let's see, get down here. That looks fantastic. All right, look at that. Wow. Okay. All right. Wow. Okay, so I'm going to come down here. You see this little highlight. I'm going to start dancing around this highlight with this blue I got here. Just, I guess we'll call it an underpainting. And I'm just going to see if we can't. Looks good. You know, the negative space in this instance is the white. And so I don't really like that, but you know, I keep laying down the paint, right? All right, anyway, I'm going to make that tone very light, and I'm just going to boldly try to establish the that side of the glass, and I would say right around here is a good place for that. Because you see this little sheen is, you know, a warm color tinted blue. And just come down here, a couple of those. Now I want that whole thing a lot lighter, so I'm going to paint that with water. And go here. And now I'm try to blot it up. And that way we just got a very nice light stain. And I want to soften the edge. So I got a damp brush, just try to soften this edge. It's definitely getting soft. And then as a guide, we're going to just go here, which is saying we are this rim, and this is where we're going. I think I can even come right here. And the rim already looks skewed, messed up, but whatever. Not horrible, I guess. Maybe come up here a little bit. Okay. Is that 5 thumbs up? Holy cow. Thanks so much, everybody. 5 thumbs up. Wow. Okay. No, we wanted this shadow here. It's got to be different than this shadow. This is the shadow that is right there looking through the glass. Also, we got to hit this other yellow thing. I think that would be a more healthy thing to get that other peach, not peach, it's what do you call it? It is a grapefruit. Took me a while to figure that out. Okay, so here we come here. This is the other grapefruit. Now here, you really should come down there tighter, and then going here, and then right here, you're gonna make a negative space area, and that is for that leaf. And here we can just kind of fill this. Now we need the interior of the rim, very important area as far as okay, and now I really hate to have a line in there, but I'm going to try to fill this in and say there was never a line there. If you saw a line, you must be imagining things, because I don't want any lines in my watercolor. And that looks pretty horrible, but you know, it's an underpainting. Okay, and then this, I think we need more intensity right here. Let's see, we get this more intense, and even right here it's good to have a little more. And right there, that looks good. Okay, and now we got to come out here over top, and let's see, and I have no idea if this is really the way you're supposed to do this, so let me just put that in there. I mean, put that out there. This is my intuitive approach, and I think there's probably better ways to be doing this exact thing. So, but you know, we're trying to paint that grapefruit. We're treating the grapefruit as negative space. The glass is the positive space, and we're trying to, you know, keep the. This is actually slightly higher than the other grapefruit, so I'll try to go up here a little more. And here is a line. I'm trying to get rid of that line. Okay, that and here. Okay, that is that leaf. This comes over in a ball, and right here is a weird leaf. And I remember when I was painting this last time, I was very suspicious of that weird leaf. Like, should we even paint that weird leaf, because it's so weird? I mean, it's better to have a leaf that looks like a leaf. The brain sees a leaf that looks like a leaf and says, aha, there's a leaf. But this weird leaf, the brain is not going to say that's a leaf. They're going to say, what's that weird shape? Is that like a sci-fi, you know, green thing, or what the heck is that? Anyway, at this juncture, we are going to, and now we got this thing that looks like a line. I hate that. I guess if I don't want a line, I gotta just quit making lines, right? Okay, and that's terrible. Oh well, I'm just gonna have to live with it. I got a line, and that's all there is to it. I'm gonna come up here and just try to add some of this color. And let's see if we can find the cadmium again, and see if we get a lean into the cadmium. So like right up here, lean into that cadmium. And this is actually going to be, you know, soon, it's going to be like a shadowy green, but for now we're just trying to lay down some layers. And let's see if we can't take a damp brush and smear this around. This is definitely supposed to be a shadow, but for now we're just laying on the cadmium. That looks good. looks weird right there. Okay, well, I'm gonna try and put some water here and just get a more subtle line. I guess that's a slightly more subtle line. Okay. Well, this part looks great. May the whole painting start looking like that. Anyway, maybe I'll go on, what do you call it? Stop motion or time lapse, and we'll paint some more. So I can upload a short video and get 10 views. Today I uploaded a short video, got 10 views, about 4 likes, so that's 40% positive feedback. Anyway, that was a real blast, wasn't it? So we did this, and I forgot what we were going to say when we talked about. Oh yeah, we did bold strokes of red down here that really pop, and then we also worked on this a little bit, which is the never-ending project of the seascape, and we're just trying to get complexity and structure into those trees in the background, which is not really working. I mean, if that's a house, then these trees are like tiny. So, you know, they look good if that was supposed to be like a big tree. Great, but it's not. It's supposed to be 500 tiny trees. Anyway, and then we are working, trying to take 2 on paint from photograph. This is something we're doing right around New Year's Day. We started this clear glass with 2 grapefruit and real grapefruit leaves. This was a paint from life when we first started, and I got to get the old painting, the original, out, since we are trying to redo. So there you have it, real-time watercolor painting today, 3 ongoing projects, art fun. See you next time.